Now, real quick, I want to go ahead and see how some perks change. So tenacity was one of the main ones I was thinking about. So while in the dying state, you have 25% haste and your aura cannot be read by the killer. Grunts of pain while in the dying state are reduced by 75%. That is dog water now. I don't like that at all. What about barbecue and chili? I wish there's got to be patch notes somewhere that talk about all of the perk changes. What about barbecue though? After hooking all survivors once, base generator damage increased by 5%. Alright, I don't know how I feel about that. I know we're definitely going to test out Myers during this PTB. So let's just go ahead and grab him, since apparently we don't have him unlocked in the PTBs anymore. Which is also stupid. So let's look at his new add-ons. Increase movement speed while stalking by 20%. Increase movement speed in stalker mode to 4.4. Increase stalk range. Scratch marks and pools of blood last longer in stalker mode. Hitting a survivor with slaughtering strike adds 20 seconds to evil incarnate's duration. Ooh. But slaughtering strike only deals a single health state. Increase the stalk meter fill rate on stationary survivors. When evil incarnate activates, the next pallet break is 50% faster. Increase the movement speed of slaughtering strike by 5. Decrease the charge speed by 25. Decrease terror radius in pursuer mode. Increase terror radius in evil incarnate mode. Increase the base duration of slaughtering strike by 0.25 seconds. Decrease the charge speed. Increase the stalk meter fill rate on the obsession by 40%. Increase the stalk fill rate by 30%. Decrease the stalk range by 16 meters. Increase pickup and hook speeds by 40% in evil incarnate mode. That's not bad. Increase the duration of evil incarnate by 20 seconds. Decrease the stalk meter fill rate. When evil incarnate ends, you see the aura of all survivors for 4 seconds. That's good. When evil incarnate activates, you become undetectable for 20 seconds. That's sick. All right, so what's the new scratch mirror? Reveal the aura of survivors within 32 meters while in stalking mode. Cannot leave stalker mode. Okay, so scratch mirror basically makes it the same thing. Scratch mirror does the same thing it did before. Okay. While evil incarnate is active, hold the ability button to end it prematurely and retain 50% of the remaining duration of stalk. Ooh. Hook a survivor during evil incarnate refreshes its duration, limits the duration to 40 seconds. Survivors are exposed. Lunge range is increased by 50%. Slaughtering strike cannot be used. So fragment tough tear just makes it so the power works the same way as it used to work. Okay. All right, I gotta see if there's patch notes somewhere because I want to see how all the perks changed. Okay, here we go. So we went over all this. Went over that. All right. Tunneling reduction update. All right, so unhook protection. Unique hook bonuses, tunneling penalties. All right, so perks. Following perks have been updated. See the perks update section for below. Okay, so let's just get to that. Same thing with this. Okay. Because that's what I really care about. All right. Perk updates. Here we go. Oh, God. All right. Babysitter. Been reworked. After unhooking the survivor, you see the survivor's aura and the killer's aura for 12 seconds. Survivors you unhook retain their unhook protection for an additional 12 seconds for borrowed time. Meh. Increase aura reading duration to 12 seconds instead of 10 seconds for clairvoyance. Whatever. Increase the bonus repair speed duration to 120 seconds instead of 75 seconds for friendly competition. Hope. Decrease the haste status effect gained when the exit gates are powered to 5% instead of 7. Ew. No Mither. Increase the volume reduction for Grunts of Pain to 100% across all tiers. So you just don't make Grunts of Pain anymore for No Mither. That's good, I guess, but No Mither's still so dog shit that who cares? What's up, Josh? Off the record. Remove the endurance status effect. Remove the stipulation that it is disabled once exit gates are powered. Add a new effect. While active, you do not leave scratch marks while sprinting. That's good. Leader. Increased action speed bonus value to 30% instead of 25%. Increased action speed bonus range to 10% instead of 8, or 10 meters instead of 8 meters. Updated perk description to simplify the linger effect. Okay. Lucky Star. Decreased cooldown to 25 seconds instead of 30 at tier 3. Pharmacy unlocks chest 125% faster instead of 100 at tier 3. The hearing distance for noises from unlocking chest is reduced by 12 meters instead of 16. And guarantees an emergency medkit upon completion. Plot twist added a new effect. Increases recovery speed by 25% when used. Poised. Increased killer's aura reveal duration when repairing a generator for the first time to 8 seconds instead of 6. Increased time when you leave no scratch marks after a generator is completed, 30 seconds instead of 14. That's a pretty big buff, actually, for Poised. Quick Gambit. Decrease the cooldown when losing a health state to 40 seconds instead of 60. That's a good buff. Tenacity. Added a new effect of preventing your aura from being red while in the dying state, but decreased the crawling speed bonus to 25% instead of 50. That's because they added the natural crawling speed, so that's just to balance that out a little bit. And then Vigil. Survivors can now only benefit from one Vigil perk effect at a time, previously stacked with other versions of itself. Alright, killer perk updates. All Shaking Thunder. Increased the lunge attack distance. Increased duration to 25 seconds instead of 16. Nurse's Calling. Increased range to 32 meters instead of 28. No longer affects survivors who are in the dying state. That's healthy. Barbecue and Chili. After hooking all survivors once, it now increases the base generator damage by 5% instead of revealing all the auras because current, or I guess previous Barbecue and Chili is now base kit. Dark Arrogance decreases the blind and pallet stun duration to 15%, or decreased it to 15% instead of 25. Deadman Switch. Decreased generator block duration to 35 seconds instead of 50. That's a huge nerf to Deadman's. Whoa, that's a massive nerf. That's unnecessary as fuck. They did not need to nerf that hard. Oh, dude, killers are going to be pissed, and I can't even blame them. That is a unnecessary nerf. Deerstalker rework. When a survivor sees your aura, you see their aura. Every 30 seconds, reveal your aura to the survivor with the lowest chase time for 3 seconds. Whoa. What?
Nothing, dude. Nothing.
What?
Nothing.
What you got to say?
Oh, you might have a bot in Twitch.
I got you.
You fucking do that to me? I will deck you in the ball. I want you to know he's losing his shit now.
Good.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Glad I could help. Did you hear about the nerf I just talked about for Deadman's?
Is this for priority, correct? What was it?
Deadman Switch got nerfed by 15 seconds.
Ha ha. Good.
That's not good. That's super unhealthy. That's an over nerf for sure.
For Doctor, this will suck. Oh, Deadman's.
Deadman's. The one where after they get a hook and you let go of a gen.
15%?
15 seconds. It was 50. Now it's only 35. That's a massive nerf.
They're optimizing it to be more survivor friendly.
Yes. I mean, that.
They're trying to find an equal balance.
I think that's overdoing it. I don't think Deadman's was that big of a problem.
Well, I mean, it's PTB. You know, nothing is
Did you hear about the barbecue rework? You know how barbecue became pace kit? So now barbecue, after you hook all survivors once, your base generator damage goes up by 5%. So they just get 5% better kicks to the gens. If they can hook all 4 people. Once they hook all 4 people,
They all have one hook.
once everybody's been hooked once, they kick gens for 5% more regression. I think that's a good rework. I like that. They also completely changed Deerstalker. Deerstalker no longer shows aura of people on the ground. It's now kind of like a version of Object of Obsession, but for the killer. When a survivor sees your aura, you see their aura. And every 30 seconds, you reveal your aura to the survivor with the lowest chase time. So then you and the person that you've chased the least keep switching back and forth. So Storm, how much of the update have you missed so far? Right now we're going over perk changes. We already went over the new killers perks and the new survivors perks. We're going to go play as them here in a minute. And we went over all of Myers' new add-ons. But right now we're going over the perk changes. Eruption, decreased gen progress loss to 5% instead of 10%. Ruin, increased generator regression by 50%. Leverage, decreased healing speed. So these are just like tweaks to times and increased healing speed reduction for leverage. Oof. Monitor and abuse while in a chase. Your terror radius is now increased by 15% instead of 8 meters. Otherwise, your terror radius is decreased by 25% instead of 8 meters. Pop Goes the Weasel, decreased gen progress loss, so they nerfed Pop. Oppression, increased random generator selected to 4. Decreased cooldown to 35 seconds. So that's just an all-around... the killer stuff, or the new killer and new survivor stuff, will be on YouTube later. It won't be until after I end stream, because I don't have an I don't have an active editor to go grab it and edit it and upload it for me, and I can't do it while I'm streaming. But after stream, probably. Scourge Hook Pain Res. Decrease. They nerfed Pain Res too. So they nerfed Pain Res and Deadman's. I don't think that was necessary. Ultimate Weapon increased, or Septic Touch increased the linger duration of blindness and exhausted to 30 seconds instead of 10 seconds. That's a massive buff to Septic Touch. Ultimate Weapon increased range when opening a locker to 40 meters, reduced cooldown to 45 seconds. Fairly balanced. Okay, so the patch notes are kind of balanced. All right.